Okay.
Hola,
Hello. 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 Hello, and welcome to the Weirdest Kingdom on this side of YouTube. I'm Princess Adia, aka Adia, and welcome back to my channel. So, today, we'll be talking about something that I've been waiting to talk about for a little while and didn't know if I'm going to get to be able to see it right away as soon as it... Essentially, we're doing a princess review. I've called it this myself. I've named it myself. I'm really excited for this series. I've already done like, I think 2 installments, 3? Maybe 2 or 3? I don't know. But whatever episode this is of Princess Reviews, we're talking about Booksmart. So, when this movie came out, especially because traditional media has been going through a little bit of a whirlwind with movies, especially right now, like the rise of remakes. Movies are coming out. And I don't know how I feel about them. Like, there are some movies that are coming out, like there are a lot of remakes happening, especially with Disney, a lot of live action remakes, which do I think is necessary? Maybe not. But, times have changed since the start of... There's just a lot happening. This is technically sort of a queer film that I'm talking about, but not really, because it's not based off, it's not about one of the characters' queerness, and there happen to be quite a few queer characters in the show. So, if you don't know, Booksmart is a movie made by Olivia Wilde. So it's about these 2 girls who are named Molly and Amy, and they're about to go off to college, but it's their last day of high school. And they've been seen as like the more like stuck in their books, working on doing their work, and mostly focused on work so they can get into the best colleges. They don't have to be like the people who they think aren't going to get into the best colleges because they had fun, they partied, they got drunk, they did drugs, all that kind of stuff in high school, and they think they're not going to good colleges, which is another topic to talk about in itself. But they find out, one of them finds out that some people that they thought weren't going to get into good colleges actually got into the same college as her, which is a very prestigious college, which I don't think it should be, but it's very prestigious, like Ivy League college. And she's like, oh crap, we've been spending all this time in the books, not having any fun, so we can get into these really good school, and these people didn't do any of that. They still got into these really good schools. So they proceed, they try to go to this party, blah blah, to prove it to themselves and to each other and to other people in their school that they are fun and they can have fun. It's a whole, like, it's a very simple plot. I feel like I'm explaining it to make it a little bit more confusing, but it's a very simple plot in the movies. I'm gonna do this pros, cons, and then my overall thoughts about the movie. So, some pros. I have my notes down here, so if you see me looking off to the side, it's because I'm looking at my notes. There are a lot of great things about this movie. Like, I think the few things I've talked about so far have been like, I hate it, like I don't like it. There are so many things that could have been changed, all that kind of stuff. But for this movie, I generally have a lot of good like pros for this movie. So one pro would be that Molly, one of the characters, she is plus size, she's overweight, she's bigger, she's thick, whatever you want to say, but I'm gonna call her plus size. She is plus size, and I do love that the plot of the story, her arc of the story has nothing to do with her weight. No one makes jokes about her weight. Her weight is not even a thing, actually, basically. I really enjoy that because I feel like a lot of movies now, especially because we're trying to like normalize people being overweight, fat, plus size, chubby, all that kind of stuff. We're trying to normalize that, making like we're just people, which we are. But this movie just doesn't even talk about, like, it doesn't even exist, basically. Like, no one uses it as an insult, no one uses it as nothing. I generally enjoy that because a lot of movies do try to do that because they're trying to make it seem like, oh, we're progressive. We're trying to make things seem like, oh yeah, this is important. Her body, her weight, it's very important. Yes, it is. but there needs to not be that many stories about it, because then it gets overplayed, and then there are things that go wrong when you overplay these things. So that was one thing I enjoyed. Another thing I enjoyed was that Amy, the main character, or the other main character, she is lesbian, and her sexuality isn't kind of important, but not important at all, because she has a crush on a girl. But it's like, it's normal. I have a crush on someone in my high school, and I'm about to graduate, and I have never talked to this person a day in my life. Like, it's very normal, very simple, very much like a rom-com kind of thing. Like, I've seen this person around the school. They don't even know. They probably don't even know I exist, kind of thing. So I did enjoy that. I put that the story isn't about like love in like a romantic sense, but more of in a platonic sense. Like, we do see the love for the two characters from the beginning, since we hit the since from the start of the movie. Like, we see their love for each other. Like, we see that they're best friends, they love each other. Like, we even see the scene where they're just going on a compliment, like, kind of rant, like, who told you to be this hot? Like, how can you be this hot? Oh my god, you're like a brush of fresh air. Like, there's so many different things that I wish people would actually do in real life, that I wish I would do in real life, because it's such of like, this is what best friends should be. Not all best friends should look like that, but this is what best friends should strive to do, is lift each other up, and we see that from the beginning. Have Margot in all capital letters. Margot is not a character in the show, but I don't remember her name at all. I had to write in parentheses the character's actual name, but the character Hope. At first she was kind of forgettable, because she was just like that, you know, jerk in class that I'm never gonna see again. So like, oh, it's not important. It's just like that one of those side characters that are there for like comedic relief, or like to create a little bit of tension or something like that. But she is hot. Oh my god, is she hot? I totally forgot who the actress that plays her, but the actress that plays her is hot. Beautiful. Oh my god. Oh my god. And the fact that I didn't see that they were going to use Margot, Hope, as part of part of Amy's plotline, and her like sexuality. Should I just give spoilers away? I'm giving spoilers. Amy's never been with a girl before, and she's been out for a long time, and she's never kissed a girl. And I like the fact that we didn't expect that we're gonna use Hope, Margot, as a plot line, sort of, per se. And she just ends up being a plot line. Like, it's like almost like, oh, I broke up with my boyfriend, a girlfriend, partner, whatever, and I'm going to the club, and this person just happens, this really hot person just happens to be in my line of view and in the same room with me, stuck in the bathroom. And we just start making out, and I might have my first time. Nope, I swallow something with one of her cigarettes in it, and I throw up on her. I loved the relationship between Mrs. Fine and Molly and Amy, because it reminds me of a relationship I have with my teachers. This movie represents teens so accurately. Like, to be honest, it's a little bit baffling how accurate it represents teenagers. And I'm saying this as a teenager myself. Like, half of the people I've seen in these movies, like most people, characters I've seen in this school, are people that there are people like that in my actual school. Like, it's crazy. Applaud to Olivia Wilde, because I feel like my problem with when adults write people who are younger than them, but they're not, like, it's not like something from their own personal life, like with Riverdale. I will always bring something back to Riverdale. The characters are written by, I'm presuming, older people who are not just out of college, but older people who have been doing this for a while. And they're trying to stay trendy or on the trends. And it ain't working out for them, to be honest with you. They write them as if they are too old, because one, these are people who are older than the characters they're writing, so they're not going to relate as much. It's either goes one way where they write them extremely older, they write them like really cringy, or you can go the Disney route and write them like as if they're maybe 13, but they're actually like 16. Oh, Alan, the character Alan. Alan, I loved Alan. I mean, they're a little bit, just a tiny bit about him that I didn't like. He's just like, they wrote that typical flamboyant like gay guy in the movie, but the fact that they showed a black, flamboyant, feminine, whatever you want to call it, feminine, gay, teenager, male in a story who also likes to dress up and like be like sort of like drag almost, and is in the drama team department. Like, I know people like that in high school. Like, it one breaks down racial stereotypes, racial gender stereotypes, and also just breaks down that he's feminine, he's still a person, he's still a man. Like, I just loved it. I put drug use under here, and I don't know. Drug use, it was very bit of a on the fence thing with me. Like, I get it, but I don't like it. I mean, I'm not gonna advocate drug use, obviously. But, I don't know, I just seem like it represents, like, yeah, there are teens who do drugs in school, but I think they just joked a little bit too much around it for me. For you, it might be different, but for me, it's a little bit too much. Principal Brown, I liked that it represented, even though it wasn't trying to be political, it did show that, like, principals and teachers don't make enough freaking money, so now the teacher has to be an Uber driver on the side to make more money. Lisa Kudrow, she was funny. She really was great as Amy's mom. That's all the notes I had for my pros. Now it's on to my cons. And I can be honest with you, there aren't that many cons. There aren't as many cons as there is pros. So, there's a lot less. My number one thing that I disliked about this movie is they are terrible at introducing characters or making it so remember who a character is. Like, I had trouble remembering the main character's names, but I knew who they were. Like, I keep calling character Hope Margot. I didn't know her name until after the movie. My friends told me her name. So another thing that I didn't like was that there wasn't enough attention to this character called AAA. This is literally the character's name given in the, when I looked it up. Because again, I did not remember half those characters in there. Except for two. Molly and Amy. And Margot. But that's not what her character's name is. AAA. She's like the girl that they have, like, she's like the a lot of people slut shame her, basically. There's like, she picks up guys after parties and she like helps them, like AAA does, with different various problems. They put us in a weird spot in the movie after Molly and Amy have this argument at the party that they finally got to. And everything. Okay, so during the party when Molly and Amy have a argument about something ABCs, and Molly, after the party gets like raided and the police are coming, Molly's walking home because the party's raided and she can't go back because the police are there and she's gonna get arrested. And the girl AAA comes by and sees that Molly's walking home on the highway, so she picks her up. And they start talking about like how, oh, she's like, you know, those things about what I did, they aren't true. And to me, because they didn't build up her character enough to make it seem like, oh yeah, she was this and that. Like, they got this one snippet of like, oh yeah, I'm going to the same college as you. You keep calling us idiots, stuff like that. Like, they gave us that one little part. I'm like, okay, I need more to this character. Like, why do these two feel this way to each other? Like, what is the relationship between Molly and AAA? Because I'm not getting it. So like when she did say, oh, none of those things were true, I didn't really care at the moment. It was just like, oh, like another, they need to push the movie forward or something, add more space into the movie. I felt like there wasn't enough build, and we didn't get enough connection with AAA to feel like for me to care about her saying that. The story behind Gigi, like I understood Gigi was a very great for like comedic relief. Like she's hilarious. The character is funny. The actress who plays her is amazing at playing Gigi. I would just like to know more about why. I guess it's not important because of the story, but like Gigi, everyone found her funny, so like it would be great if we could know more of the way she acts, because we learned from Jared, her best friend, or is that what his name is? Is that what his name is? Yes, his name is Jared. Like that she's like, Gigi's like, oh, she's putting up a play. Like I know that's my best friend. Like I know she's putting up like a front. So like we should get more information about what's going on. He just says, oh yeah, she's putting up the front. What's the front? Why? Oh, these three like relationships, I hated them. Like I hated them so much. I disliked Molly and Jared's relationship because I can tell from the beginning Molly is going to use Jared. Ryan and Nick, again, it was just way too convenient. Which, mind you, it was good because I started the argument between Amy and Molly, which I have to say was possibly, I don't even know why, it was such a simple little thing. For me, possibly one of the best cinematic scenes I've seen in my entire life. Another relationship I honestly disliked it so much. I don't understand why it was important. It didn't need to be in there. Theo and Mrs. Fine. Mind you, her name is Mrs. Fine. I think she's married. Oh. The character, George. I guess I'm like George because I feel like he was very two-dimensional. He was like this gay character that happened to be a musical theater kid, but he was also very like bitchy. And he was gonna like, I don't know. Drug use, I already talked about. Like I just felt like on the fence. Like for me, it just wasn't. I don't think someone should drug you, not tell you about it, and then you lose your mind at the party. So now on to my overall thoughts. I'm gonna read what I have down here, and then I'm also gonna like talk about the things I've said, like come to my mind. So, I think if you're looking for a movie that is funny and real but has stakes, this is the movie for you. It shows a real relationship of a Gen Z. It shows a real friendship of Gen Zs. It normalizes things that should already be normal. They don't use cliche tropes for movies that are right now really hard to do right. Such as like be very political or make a stance or like the typical like things you see in a movie like this. But there are still cliche tropes in like getting in a little mishap or seeing your teacher in a very awkward situation, getting lost, the arguments, all that. They don't try to be political. This movie / Olivia Wilde wasn't trying to make a monumental movie. It was just trying to make a movie that you would enjoy and you could relate to no matter how old you were. And even more if you were a Gen Z. Because I feel like Gen Zs and millennials have a bad rep by the older generation, which we shouldn't really care because they're sort of on their way out. But while they're still here, I feel like we're always being targeted like we're lazy, we don't do anything, or we're just stuck on our phones, all that kind of stuff. We don't have any real relationships. We're hard to get all these different relationships, blah, blah, blah. but to the core, we were just like any other generation. We just got a little bit more perks than the other ones did. This movie will be a classic, a movie I go to watch for me for a long time. I really enjoyed this movie. I had a really good time in the moment when I went to go see the movie. I was in a situation I've never been in before. The movie stopped out of nowhere in the middle, just like before, like I think the last like 10 to 5 minutes before the movie ended. It was hilarious. It was my friend, saw it on my birthday. It was generally a good time. My overall rating for Booksmart, now I'm going to rate movies and stuff. My overall rating for Booksmart, I gave it an 8 out of 10. That is my review. I hope you enjoyed. I really hope it isn't like 40 minutes long like the last one was. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And I'll catch you guys next time. Bye!